What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the den. Minor technical difficulties. I guess it helps when you're sending the info to the right stream. Hope all of you are doing well this afternoon. I am your host, Ed Honcho. I apologize. With the current location, the vent it's real picky. It does what it wants to do. Right before stream, when I'm not about to go live, it's fine and dandy. You don't hear it. It's all silent, and then maybe a minute or so before I'm getting ready to go live, it's just decides to do what the fuck it wants to do. So here we are. But if you're not familiar with the den is the best conversation on the internet. The reason why it's the best conversation on the internet is because of you people, you wonderful people. What do you mean, you people? I mean, you, the den folk, the denizens, the den generates, and the friends of the den. Today we're going to talk about cheating. Why do people cheat? Had a very interesting conversation last night in the den Discord between some of the lovely ladies of the den and Professor Trill. And I chimed in on my part while I was doing some minor snacking and cleaning. But so it was very interesting because I think there's different premises that we have we base our beliefs on, and so we're going to get into that. But first, let's see who we have joining us this afternoon before we deep dive into the conversation. And I think it should be interesting. John, Jack Tripper, Dita Gamma, Coltrane, what's the motherfucking deal? Jess Sarah, let me see. Marquise, what's the motherfucking deal? Jen, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. Beyond a funny nigga, what's the motherfucking deal? I may be low. I'll tweak it here in just a second. Let me see. I don't want to turn this shit all the way up because then it fucking it's gonna pick up a whole lot of that fan noise. But let me know if that sounds a little bit better. Maybe if I adjust it a little bit. And I can't forget the early bird. I did jot because Culture was in here. Ronald M. Grace, K. Grace, and I know John and Jack Triple were in here early also. Like I said, I know when you switch it up, sometimes the screen will delete whoever was in here really early. And so I did not forget the lovely ladies of the den who were here early. Let me make sure I got everybody. And there we go. So, like I said, yes, the Miss Birthday Bell was joining us last night. It was Miss Grace, Miss Bell, Lady Licious chimed in, and Miss Angela, for those of you who may know her as Miss Meat, chimed in the conversation. But I think it was a very interesting conversation. We were talking about why do men cheat. We didn't necessarily get deep into why women cheat. I think we were being attacked, we were being accosted, and violated of our rights. So I don't remember Ronald Eyes being early. I don't believe it. But so let's talk about it, right? And then we'll open up the lines. We'll get your thoughts into it. We'll discuss what you feel, and while you're at it, hit the like button. Like button in these disparaging times of the wild Rona. I know that items can be scarce. Products can be hard to find, but the likes are digital. So, boop, hit that like button. We greatly appreciate it. So I was sitting and I was thinking, right? And I'm just, I can only really give a male perspective and my perception of the female perspective. Oh, and I guess, son of a bitch. Ain't that a bitch? Do it like this. Hold on. This is what we'll do. This is exactly what we'll do. Because I know that the tube doesn't notify as it should. So we're going to do this while I do some weird stuff in the background, but I'll still continue talking. Let's see. We'll do it like this. Well, that's awkward. It's like let's do this. Okay. Yeah, a little weird Honcho popping out the side and shit. That's not what I want to do. God damn it, how hard is it to do what I want you to do? What the fuck, man? Oh, that might be the problem, actually, I guess, then, right? Anyway, yeah, we'll just do it like this. I don't know why the other thing's not showing up properly. But so my thing is like, I can only talk from the male perspective. You know, that's what I know. I haven't transitioned yet, or nor do I plan on transitioning anytime soon. So I just unfortunately cannot give you guys the female perspective of why women cheat. But you know, I'm sure some of you lovely ladies, if you're going to be honest with yourselves, will definitely share that with us this afternoon. But I don't know. It's when it comes to women, don't like to give out their secrets, right? So you got to be careful. All right, pardon me while I do this. YOLO. And so my thing is, some of the bitches already open. So my thing is this, right? Oh, okay, it did go there. Shout out to Culture, appreciate it. And I did all the clicking and paste for the picture putting for nothing. Son of a bitch. But okay, here we go. Let's get it. All right. Oh, God damn it. Where are all these other fucking pictures coming from now? All right, there we go. Okay, we finally got it right. And I agree, black men don't cheat, right? No, it's not the same. Women cheat. Women cheat for a vile reason. All right, men, it's not the same, right? Men are forced to cheat and they're innocent. You know, they can't help it. It's usually a woman's fault when it happens. Men would never do anything so malicious without some type of motivation. But in reality, men will cheat. If we're gonna keep it all the way 100. If we're gonna keep it 100, we're gonna see how many of the ladies are gonna keep it 100 with us this afternoon. I wrote down a couple of things as to what I thought about why men cheat. The first thing I came up with was just because, right? Just because. So that's kind of where I. Why not? I mean, just because opportunity, men will cheat, and again, it's not all men. There are some good, reformed, born again gentlemen like myself who would never condone such activity at this time.
Dan Strong donated $5. Women cheat the same reason men do. They think they can get away with it. The window dressing is irrelevant. You don't like this person? End the relationship.
I agree. You definitely should end the relationship, and you shouldn't. You shouldn't cheat. No, I'm not condoning any cheating. But here's the thing. This is what it is with women. Because women, like I say to me, they're more malicious with it, right? Because a man will cheat, but there won't be a real connection to the person that he's cheating with. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll fuck with another chick, but it don't mean he like. He don't really give a shit about her. It's just another situation to get his weenie wet. But again, some men will cheat if they have a lack of physical affection at home. If the old lady is not doing that thing that he likes, you know what I'm saying? He may have to go out and seek it. You know, it may be something that he's into, or she does that little, or he may have an old friend who does that little special trick. And so, you know, he might miss that. The old lady may not be into something. She may not be adventurous. You know, it may be stale and boring. Something he probably should have figured out before he, you know, or depending on how long, if they're married or whatever it may be. You know, sometimes having kids in the situation throws it away. So, again, opportunity. And then, depending on your position in life, you know, if you're a powerful man, you know, opportunity to seduction and things like that. So there's my deal. Let me see. Why women cheat? Generally, it's one of two things. There's only two reasons that women cheat. There's only two reasons, right? Either she has been emotionally neglected, right? And she just feels like, you know, and it could be because, you know, maybe the man cheated, so she feels like the best way is to go get revenge, which I'm gonna get into that in a minute. But so she feels emotionally neglected where she's just not getting attention at home, which is stupid. All right, let me verify this thing. This is not that I'm saying I'm gonna condone it. If you got cheated on, and you go cheat in retaliation, that's dumb. If you cheat because you're emotionally neglected, get out the relationship. Like, because that's why I say, when women, cheating has a meaning to it, right? But the only other reason women will cheat, the only other reason a woman will cheat, aside from some form of emotional neglect, is that she's a hoe. That's it. There's only two reasons: she's a hoe, or she's been emotionally neglected. There are no other options. Don't at me. Don't 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 justify it. Don't try to add any other reasons. There are no other reasons. Emotional neglect, hoes. That's it. But again, if you have to seek some type of outside source, um, you probably shouldn't be in the. You probably shouldn't be in a relationship. You know what I mean? So that's really it. I mean, there's nothing else to say. It. And I'd agree with you, Jack Tripper, the motherfucking pimp, and taking it from the words of a pimp. But some women just, some women need multiple good pings, because some women who are generally of the hoish mentality, it's a lack of something inside. They have a void inside that they're trying to fill, and most of them will try to fill it with penis. So it could be one good, great penis, and because that penis ain't available for 30 minutes, they'll go find another one. So that's kind of my thing. We got into a discussion also about accessibility back then compared to now. And so we were kind of arguing, me and Trill were arguing that men have more access now, and women too, but people I think as a whole have more access now. But I think it's a bigger improvement for men, because here's the thing, like, women, y'all gotta understand, like, it's unfair to y'all, right? It's really unfair to y'all. You know what I'm saying? And because you really don't win even when you think you're winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, because most niggas who are like the side dude or whatever, they don't care. Women don't, unless you're in a relationship, you're not getting dick. You're just giving away pussy. That's really what it is. It's not, you don't get dick. You give away pussy. Because no matter what you do, how you view it, whatever else it is, it's a win for the side dude, the extra dude, or whatever it is. Because then he doesn't have to commit to anything. And he still gets all the benefits, right? Or he's getting the benefits without the commitment. And I'm telling you this from a ex additional, and I'm telling you this from the perspective of a man who used to be a cheater. You know what I'm saying? I agree, though. It is a dangerous game. You know what I'm saying? Miss Janet, it definitely is. Now, I don't have that mentality anymore. Like, I couldn't do the side dude shit because I command too much. So if it's not on time there when I want it, then we got issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, back then, when I was I guess a side dude and a cheater, or whatever you want to call it, I didn't care because I had my own whole situation to take care of. And, I just sent her back to where she has to go. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. She had a whole situation. I had a whole situation. But to me, it wasn't like, I didn't feel any kind of way about her leaving. I didn't, there was no concern whatsoever, right? And only time I really gave a shit was when I got that phone call, you know what I'm saying? Or a message or whatever it may be. Or if we want to go way, way back, a page, right? So I'm dating myself there. But I get it, as a woman, you have your physical needs or whatever it may be. But is it a double loss? Like, say a woman is with a dude and he doesn't satisfy her physically, right? And I think either on the male and female end, I don't think it's necessarily justified. You got to figure out a way to work with your partner to make it shake, to make it a thing. Y'all got to figure out, either y'all got to split up or y'all got to figure out how to make it work together in the sexual department, if that's what it needs to figure out. If you just got to figure it out. Because I don't think it's justified to sit here and say, oh, well, I'm with somebody, but they don't please me sexually, so I'm going to go deviate. I'm going to go get my rocks off, but then I'm going to come back to them for all the other added benefits. To me, that's an extreme level of deception. Now, there are some relationships that are into that kind of thing. If they're okay with it, that's different. You know what I'm saying? That's different. If that's what you're into and y'all are with it, do what you do. Yeah, you come on me definitely. That's what I say. That's all the STDs out there. I'm more worried about the Rona. I don't want to catch that. You know, some people it's just bullshit. But excuse me, it went down the road. It's the Rona. I talked about it and I got it. But so there's a thing, right? And so if you're with that, cool, whatever. So, but I think that's something you have to discuss. There's no justifying, oh, you're not pleased, or you want all the other benefits, but he can't satisfy you. So it's like that's an extreme level of deception. My thing is, again, it's super sketchy. You fucking with a chick, she cheating, the boyfriend probably cheating, they probably fucking raw, you fucking with whoever he fucking because she fucking him and you fucking her, and so it's like that commercial where everybody says good night to everybody. yes, I had and so it's a dirty game. And then nowadays, motherfuckers like to roll the dice. Me, raw is law. You know what I'm saying? Anything else would be illegal. So you better get it figured out. You know what I'm saying? Right, JT, and I feel you, man. Yeah. Oh man, people will hide you, man. Yeah, that's what you got to understand. Like, people will hide you if you. Women are crazy. Ask John Wayne Bobbitt, and then he had a short-lived porn star career after that. But you got to be cautious of that. But we were talking about accessibility, and then I'll open up the lines here after we talk about accessibility. I want to know if y'all agree or disagree. And the thing was that I think the ladies were saying was that, well, men, they cheated all back then. Pawpaw had a whole additional family. He had the family at home, and he had one across the street or down on the other block or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so you could get it. And I think Miss Me was talking about going to the corner store. You can pull a hoe at the corner store. But we're talking about. I think me and Trill's point was that there's more accessibility. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why there's more accessibility is because I could get on my phone, wherever the fuck my phone is right now. I could get on my phone and hop on Tinder, and you got access to your entire city, or hop on one of these other sites. You got access to a wide range of area. But the ladies were arguing, well, it's not the same because, say, you holler at something out of state, that's not accessible. But to me, I think it is. If you have the means and you have the resources, well, you can set it up for later access. You know what I'm saying? Again, if she can get flued out, you have access to that. Because without the internet and these activities and stuff, like, you wouldn't even know she existed. It's the same way as going to a mall and hollering at a chick. You could go holler, you hit the mall, depending on how long you're there, you're going to pull 3 or 4 numbers. If you're having a good day, it may be up higher than that, right? But you only have access to what's at that mall at that point in time. Like, that's it. Or if you holler at a chick at the store, you only have access to that chick at that store then. But you go on the interwebs, that profile is stuck there. That picture is there for whenever you want access to it to holler. You can look, oh, she wearing this outfit, that outfit, okay. Oh, she really do look. Now, of course, you can't see exactly what it is, you know what I'm saying? Exactly, because you women are deceptive. Y'all take the most deceptive pictures ever. Like, is there a college, there's like a community college class on how to take deceptive pictures? Like, because all the women know it, right? Y'all all know it, y'all all got it. Whoever was the first motherfucker to put the ass on the sink should be slapped, okay? I would like to hop in a time machine to the early 2000s somewhere and, just commence to just laying it out. Duck faces and I don't even know why duck faces are still a thing. They're still around, but, whoever the first bitch was that put her ass on the sink needs to be kneecapped. You know what I'm saying? So, in 1302, how'd they get a 1301? What is 1301? What are they? That's upper level hoeing. I guess, I don't know. The basics of hoeing, 1301. Hoe motivation. But, you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, right? So, you have access. If you're on a dating site, you have access to women that you would never ever have access. The likelihood of you running across them in reality is slim. So Men as a whole have more access. Women have more access too, because you can do the same thing, but it's not the same level because women, you can go walk down the street and 30 niggas gonna holler at you. Like, it don't matter. Like, niggas gonna shoot they shot no matter what. Niggas is Russell Westbrook with it. They gonna shoot they shot no matter what, even if it's a bad shot. They don't give a fuck. You know, they might get a lucky roll in. So my thing is, it's different for men versus women because men are the aggressors. Women get hollered all day. You can go to the fucking store in your bonnet and an apron and or your bathrobe with some bunny slippers on, no makeup and all that. A nigga's gonna holler. Period. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's just how it works, right? So think about it. Crack hoes are out there hustling for a reason, and somebody's paying for it, right? Somebody's paying for it. Ain't no woman out there going, unless she's on crack herself, hustling for crackhead dick. It's not happening, right? So that's what it is. Like, think about it. So for women, it's not the same. I mean, it just is what it is. It's unfortunate, but I'm telling you, with Rona and just the way the internet is, the price of pussy is going down. You know, fellas, hey, look, everything else gas going down. If gas going down, the price of pussy going down. That's just where it is. But I'm just saying. But think about it, man. That's what I'm saying. So you know, it is what it. But hey, but that one for 34, it don't matter because you got the one. You know, you go 0 for 27, you go 1 for 34. That one ain't so bad, right? You know. But my thing, what if that one is a game winner? Beyond a funny nigga, you know what I'm saying? What if the one is the game winning shot? It's all worth it, right? That's all I'm saying. So again, women always had an abundance of access. Niggas don't shoot their shot no matter what. Like I said, motherfucker will holler at you in traffic. Men have to put in a little bit more effort to get these things accomplished. So these are my thoughts. These are my feelings. I'm going to open up the lines here in just a second. And then I want to know your thoughts, fellas. I want to know how y'all feel. Ladies, I want to know how y'all feel. Just, you know, you agree or disagree. Why do women cheat? Why do men cheat? And is there more opportunity to cheat now than there was in the past? Or do you think it's equivalent? Do you think it's the same? Do you think it's different these days as it was, you know, I don't know, whenever it was, whenever you think about the past, whatever comes up in your mind, I don't know, I think people think differently when talking about the past. So happy birthday, Bill. I hope it has been enjoyable so far. I'm glad that you could join us. Let me see. I need to find my phone before we start all the festivities here. That's definitely what I need to do. Give me one freaking moment. All right, we'll put that there. All right, the cat will keep y'all company for just a moment, right? And I know my phone is in one of two places. And who is that in reference to? Oh, actually, that's from last night. Miss Ashley, I'm not sure who that was in reference to. I guess I could have replied back to that via text. And so if you text today, today's Friday, ain't it? Yeah. If you text today, I don't see a message, but that's like say something about the text line. Give me one moment. Look at that cat. And I'll be right back. There, that was fast. I'm back already. All right, cool. Why must I feel like that? Why must I chase the cat? Ain't nothing but the dog in me. Nothing but the dog in me. I posted something earlier. Oh, we got beef. We have beef after this den. And normally, I am the I agree with shout out to Toxic City Tenny, wherever you may be, my good friend. Usually I agree with Miss Tenny on most things, but apparently we have some beef over Captain Planet and the Planeteers. Um, I personally feel like Captain Planet was a whole ass nigga, and he was exploiting child labor. The fucking Planeteers did all the goddamn work, and then when things just got a little too tense, I mean, these kids' lives were in danger. They call Captain Planet. He slides through for like 32 seconds, and then goes back to whatever little bungalow he was living in, and doesn't do shit. Like, he knows all this shit is going on. Captain Planet was a lazy fucking bum, and he was a real piece of shit in my opinion. And what was the fucking power of heart? What the fuck was that, right? Anyway, we'll talk about that later because we're going to be talking about TV and entertainment and shit like that tonight, what y'all are watching during the quarantine and stuff like that. So we'll get into that a little bit later. Let's see. Terrible, terrible, terrible. It's a terrible statement. You women are terrible people. Give me a second. Let me open up the line. Let me put the number up here for y'all. And I think that should be good. Once that cuts on, that'll be nice. And all right, players and playettes. Again, I hope y'all are having a wonderful Friday, man. Hey, if you can practice social distancing while still being able to step outside, get some sunshine. I think sunshine is a natural medicine, and no, I'm not going to be on any weird fucking naturopathic shit. I just believe that, certain things, get vitamin D, which you ladies apparently like vitamin D, so get you some natural vitamin D from the sun. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we got calling in to the den this afternoon?
It's Belle. It's Belle. The first call in. I might have been late to the day, but it's my day, so I still make first call. Yay!
Happy birthday, Miss Bell. So, how are you feeling about this topic this afternoon?
I think it's kind of a double standard.
I agree. I mean, it definitely is.
And the fact that people cheat for different reasons, and I'm not going to say exclusively one to the other. Primarily, men cheat just to get a piece of dick, and women cheat to get emotional.
Whoa! Men are cheating for dick.
Excuse me.
Whoa.
To get a piece of. Excuse me.
Well, this is 2020, so some are probably doing that.
Well,
too.
yeah, right. It could be that too. So, to get a piece, we'll put it that way to make it gender neutral. How's that? And women primarily cheat for emotional needs rather than physical needs. If they're not getting emotionally met at home and feeling neglected, they tend to step out. Now, where it comes as a double standard is men always think higher of a woman that chooses not to step out no matter whether she wants to or not. And the fact is that if you know a woman is a hoe, you always treat her like a hoe. And there's this expectation that men are okay to hoe because that's in their quote-unquote nature. But yet, why should we as women have to look past that when if you're supposed to be in a committed relationship to us or a committed relationship with a person, that it's okay to cheat?
But don't you think people know of people's tendencies before they get into a relationship, before they make that commitment?
Yeah, there's the old women's intuition, or, I had a feeling that from what she told me about her past. But the other thing is that you could start over with a person and, your past not be relevant because the person you're with really has changed you by your choice. We can't change anybody else, but somebody else can change us sometimes for the better or sometimes for the worse by how that relationship goes.
So do you think that that wholeness could be deleted?
Excuse me?
Do you think that wholeness can be deleted, like that you can hit a reset button on the wholeness? So if you had a whole history, like you just kind of clear the browser and just reset your whole history and with somebody and it's no longer you no longer have wholeness?
Okay. I think that there's always going to be prostitutes.
But I mean, like for an individual,
wait a minute, and this is where I have to explain it. There is a difference between a hoe and a prostitute.
Mm-hmm.
a prostitute gets paid to do a job. A hoe does it because they don't think any better of themselves. And they get money in that process.
So, say a man.
And that's male and female. And there are male hoes that'll go out there and dip their stick in anything.
And this is true. But let's say like a man. So if a woman says, hey, you know what, I'm having some issues with my bills, you know, hey, help me out. And he's like, well, you know, come spend the night with me and we'll see what we can do about that. And she engages in that offer and he pays the bills, you know, he keeps the lights on, maybe some kids at home, maybe the dog needs food or I don't know, whatever. Does that qualify as hoeing?
It's a catch-22 situation. It depends on how the emotional part of the relationship is going. If it's just a hit it and quit it, yeah, it's kind of considered hoeing. But if you look at it, marriages are based out of financial contracts as well as love. So relationships can all be considered a business agreement to some extent.
So you're saying that when women get married, they're just, you know, one client hoes? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying what?
Are you saying it so that when women get married, they become one client hoes? Is that what you're saying?
Well, technically, so should men.
But what if they don't? What if men don't? What if, you know, because the society says that, you know, the man should be the caretaker, the financial leader of the household, the head of household, so he should be taking care of all the stuff. So if he's not necessarily receiving any finances and he's taking care of everything, but she's on the beneficial end of it, is he really hoeing? Is he?
Okay, well, that goes the other way. If she's the breadwinner, then he's the house husband, then he should be putting it out for her only. Now, we're talking about a couple of different things here. We're talking about a closed relationship with nobody stepping out, and then you have people who allow having open relationships. That whole shit is another different level to what we're talking about. But being in a committed relationship is different than some man stepping out on his wife or some wife stepping out on her husband. And it's different if you're in the dating and you're exclusive or you're not exclusive. There's communications that need to happen, and when they don't, that busts the relationship up. If it's clear on the table that you're friends with benefits right from the beginning, I'm not going to deny that probably 80% one person or both people will catch feeling. Now, if it goes any further from there, then that's because they actually communicate about it. But if they don't, that's where it stays.
Okay.
And it's the combination of, you know, am I getting what I'm getting, or are we going to consider this a relationship and actually communicate? You know, somebody once told me when you get a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or whatever, that they bring their lives into yours and you bring your lives into them. If it's separate lives, it's just a transaction of sexual exchange, not personal information. That's a whole different ballgame.
Okay.
And I'm probably hitting the 10-minute rule because I saw just Sarah.
Let me see.
But you got any other questions for me?
Now, what is the birthday plans today?
I really want to just watch a movie at home with my kids with some popcorn and just enjoy them.
Okay. What you have a movie in mind?
I don't know. We might even do like the Star Wars series because we got Disney Plus, or it's just something that all of us agree on. I just don't do horror films, but anything else is pretty much figure out. We like sci-fi and stuff, so just something family-friendly and not a lot of TNA. I just don't deal with that around my kids. And I know it's old-fashioned, but hey, you know, I still have to have my own morals. What I do on my business is my business, and what they do as grown-ups is theirs.
Correct. Okay. That's pretty much all I got.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us, and I thank you for sharing your thoughts and getting the party started. The birthday bell has rung, and again, happy birthday, Miss Bell, and class is now in session.
And thank you, just Sarah. Hey, thank you all for the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I just woke up, so wow. Anyway. All right, that's my call, and let's see who else is coming in next.
All right. Thank you for calling, Miss Bell.
All right, night.
I fucking get caught up. The time. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling in to the den this afternoon?
It's Dan, bro.
Dan, the motherfucking man. What's the deal, Dan? What's on your mind, Dan? How you feeling about the conversation that we've had, so far today about cheating and availability?
I know very well about availability and cheating because the 2 times I was cheated on, it was due to not being available. So I've been told,
Interesting.
Yeah. And I just get to my basics on cheating. I've never cheated. I've thought about it. I was only like 3 serious relationships. And I never cheated on any woman. But I mean, it is what it is, bro, I think that the reason men cheat is more physical. I do agree with that. Also, happy birthday, Miss Bell. Shout out. How you doing, Grace? Okay. I think women cheat more due to emotional things because me not being available, whatever I was doing at the time, led to, I guess, getting cheated on. But I think that's bullshit. Let's see. The first time I was cheated on, that was back in college. The first time, not college now, but I ain't dating nobody. The first time I was in college, that was the first time I was pledging a frat. I told you about that frat bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm like getting hazed till 2 in the morning on 6 days a week. And in case anyone wondering what cheating is, it's sticking your dick or allowing your dick to get stuck into, or scissoring, or some genital combination, putting your mouth on somebody in that matter. That's what I consider cheating. If you're talking to somebody like over the phone, like, oh, da 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 da, I think that's getting there, but you haven't cheated yet. But you're definitely thinking about it. You're entertaining the idea.
Okay.
Yeah, true. Any sort of penetration. Because dudes cheat on females with other dudes and all that other shit. Shout out Andrew Gillum. All that shit.
I got a question for you, though. So, if a chick sends you, say you're a man in a relationship, and another woman sends you unsolicited nude photos. It could be a friend or something. Maybe I've never talked on that level, but this may be a friend or whatever. And she sends you unsolicited nude photos. Is that a form of cheating if you look at them, or maybe you don't delete them, or you don't say anything, or you don't condemn her for her actions? Is that a form of cheating, or does it have to solely be physical?
Does this woman know you're in a relationship?
Yes, this woman knows you're in a relationship.
Then she needs to secure that shit, and you need to check that right now. I heard too many stories of people letting shit go, not checking shit immediately, and it blows the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like this story I heard about, this is a true crime story. So this is where cheating goes sometimes. Somebody gets killed. Yeah. There were some dudes back in the 80s. Some dude was messing with this chick in college, and then that was more friends with benefits. But then he met someone else. They ended up getting married. But he never secured that. Like, he never ended that shit with the other girl. Yeah. And she became a cop. And she ended up killing the other girl that he just got married to. Wow. But she was a cop, so she knew how to, make the crime scene look like something other. And there were some robberies at the time, which was 2 Mexican dudes. This white woman did the killing. Yeah. So she managed to, hide all that shit. The family had a feeling it was her because the girl before she got killed was like, hey, yeah, this girl's been stalking me and shit like that. And John, the name is Stephanie Lazarus. That's the person who did the killing. You look up her on YouTube, you see the whole story. Yeah. She didn't get caught for 20 years. 20 years. She was a high-class detective, art crimes, and all this other shit. Mm-hmm. Well, come to find out, she bit the girl after she killed her. Had DNA evidence. Yeah. That's how much she hated that broad for taking her man, supposedly, when that was never your man. And 20 years later, they caught her. And that started because the man didn't tell that girl, hey, look, I'm with her now. Yeah. No, we can't do this anymore. He was sleeping with her when they were engaged. Wow. So he kept leading her on, but it was her decision to kill that girl. Yeah. So I ain't giving her no excuses. Fuck that.
Do you think
Stephanie Lazarus,
people handle that differently? Like, instead of, resolving the person who cheated on, they handle the other party more so than the person who cheated on him. So it's not like the woman that she didn't kill him, she killed the wife. The competition. Men will generally want to kill or fight or whatever the other dude who is. And I'm not telling y'all to go beat up on a bunch of females, fellas. I'm just saying, instead of resolving the situation at the source, if I'm the other party, I'm just doing what a man does. I'm not saying it's justified if you know that she's in a situation or not, but you got to check the hoe. Don't check me, because she's the one that's doing it. She's the one that has made that commitment to you. You know what I'm saying? And so I just find that odd that's the road that most people take, is that they go after the other part. Like they just say they eliminate the competition. They don't get to the root of the problem. They just cut out the competition. Like that's gonna stop them from doing what they're doing.
Yeah, that never made sense to me. Like, these idiot motherfuckers fighting on Jerry Springer and Maury. Hey, they're not trying to fight this girl. Go fight the dude who been cheating on you. Y'all had kids together. He the one fucking you over. Yeah. She probably didn't know about you. If she did, she ain't shit either. But you need to check your dude or check your girl first. And that's one thing. I'm glad you mentioned that, Mr. Honcho. Because I have a firm belief that women can be pimps and men can be hoes. Okay. I've met male hoes and female pimps. Let me tell you, you got a female who's fleecing dudes for money, and she ain't sleeping with most of them. She might sleep with one or two of them because they look good or got a lot of money. But you got other dudes giving her shit. She pimping them niggas, right? Yeah. But then you got a dude who sleep with a bunch of trashy women. He's sleeping on the couch. He doesn't even have a job. He can't even file for unemployment. He ain't worked in years. But he's sleeping with all these nasty broads. That nigga's a hoe. All right, I'm just telling you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel
He's sticking his dirty dick everywhere. He got kids all over the city. A lot of these bum ass dudes out here like that. Yeah. And that's one thing. I hate seeing women. No, let me say this a different way. I hate seeing men being led by their dicks. I hate seeing that. I've seen a lot of smart, intelligent men, especially in the military, get fucked over because they had a moment of weakness and impregnated the wrong woman, and she's destroying his life because she's unstable. And I've seen some good females, she's doing her thing at work, she's a good mother, all that stuff. But you got this bum ass dude who's fucking her up, beating her up and shit. But she loves him, cheating on him too. But I just hate seeing that shit, because it's better off just being single. Yeah, I agree. Being single, it's okay to be single. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. You don't have to be in a relationship every 2 months. It's just dysfunctional. I don't know. But I think whatever reason you have for cheating, it's just to mentally excuse yourself from the guilt you have for fucking this person over. That's not saying if this person did it to you first, hey, fuck it, it's on. You know what I'm saying? That is what it is. But if you've been good to this person and they cheat on you, then that's fucked up. And if you cheat on somebody who's done nothing but good for you, then you're a selfish piece of shit. And then that's it. There's no other way to put that, no other way to say that. You're selfish. And most people don't care about that shit. Most people are selfish inherently as human beings.
Correct.
Human nature. Have my cake, eat it too, and then bake another cake and sell that and all of the shit. I don't know. It is what it is.
Well,
shit.
And we were talking about accessibility a little bit. Do you think that now there's more opportunity for people to access opportunities to cheat than it may have been in the past?
Oh shit! Come on now. Of course, yeah. I know you mentioned that thing you said about Grandpa got another family across town and stuff like that. I mean, he was wrong for that too. Yeah. I mean, if both women know about it, both kids know about it, it is what it is. If they want to still be this dude, if this is a Mormon thing, okay, I'll accept that. Sister wives, all that other crazy shit.
Okay. Yeah.
But then, see, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, because that's what we were debating, because the argument was, that if it's out of town or it's elsewhere, it's not the same as having access to, say, local women in your neighborhood or in your vicinity. And so I think that's where the argument got lost in a little bit of translation last night. So I was just trying to get other folks' opinion on that one.
Well, look, if y'all both know this dude and y'all both want a family with this dude and he's aware of it and he can handle responsibilities, I still think it's selfish on his part and y'all a bit naive as females. But if y'all rocking, then go ahead and rock with it. Just make sure this man's taking care of responsibilities and you don't fuck with other women's family Okay. Now nowadays though, you got all this accessibility. I mean, it's over, bro.
Yeah,
it's over. It's done.
The commitments and things are scarce, and it's sad. And I think that if you don't build on a solid foundation from the jump, it's easy for there to be more cracks put in the foundation with all of the, like I say, all the accessibility, all these opportunities from various websites. Fucking Facebook. Facebook even got dating and shit now. So, all kind of shit. So it's just.
Oh my God, bro.
Yeah. So it's everywhere. You know what I mean? So. Yeah.
I remember I told you I used to work at Applebee's right before I joined the Navy, and like, let me tell you, there was one real fine white chick. I ain't gonna say her name, I have respect for her. And I met her husband once or twice. He came in to pick her up, and like, come to find out, she's getting divorced. And I was saying like, oh, why are you getting divorced? She's like, oh my God, I found his second Facebook profile. I'm like, this fine chick's getting cheated on. And you know what? What's the saying? Show me a beautiful woman, and I bet I can find a guy that's tired of fucking her. Yeah. That's how that goes, man.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what it is. I was just amazed someone wanted to cheat on this chick. But, dudes want the cake, eat it too. You got to stick at home, but you go out for a hamburger, all that other stupid shit, man. Look, bro.
Sometimes we eat a little fast food sometimes. We know it ain't good for us, but sometimes we hit that fucking Burger King drive-thru. We know we shouldn't.
Like I said, I understand, man, but I've never cheated on anyone, though. I'm not saying you have or any other gentleman in the den right now. I just have never cheated on anybody. Now, have I played the field? Yeah, but in an official relationship with one woman, I've never cheated on her. Okay. I've been cheated on twice. The first time was in college, and she was sleeping with 3-4 dudes. I found a busted baby, essentially.
Oh,
that's my fuck up. yeah, essentially. Yes. Oh God, that test was negative. Thank Christ.
Yes, that's the
thing. Yeah, that kind of shit. The second one I didn't see coming because I knew her for years, and she seemed like a little kind of person. And that was on deployment, and she cheated on me 2-3 times. I lost count, and I forgave her because I was a simp, sucker, dumb nigga. And came back, and so I was on a 6-month deployment. This is insane. So I started dating her right when the deployment started. I got out of boot camp and apprenticeship school, all that. We were emailing each other and calling each other, and then I'm gonna go down to Georgia and meet you. I was in Florida at the time, and we meet. Bang it out. It was a real good weekend, and then we said we're gonna be in a relationship. Then, and I remember I started thinking like, oh yeah, this is when I was still religious. I was like, it took me this long to get with her. It was like I knew her for 8 years, bro, and I fell in love with her the first day I met her. I fell head over heels for her, but I knew she was dating other dudes and shit like that, so I never tried to approach her. I was scared. I ain't gonna lie. I was a bitch, a pussy. Fair enough. And I never approached her. Apparently she liked me. She told me years later, but she thought I didn't date white girls. And I'm like, what? I date females. Period. I don't give a fuck what color you are. I date black, white, Asian, bro. As long as we vibing, that's all I give a fuck about. I don't give a fuck about none of the dumb shit. Because you don't choose your race. You choose who you are as a person, though, in a sense. But so all this shit later, we get together. I go on my deployment. I get an email. She's cheating on me. I blame myself for being halfway across the fucking country. I have to wake up 2 hours before everyone else just to call her in the morning. I'm doing all these sacrifices for her, and she told me twice, and I still forgive her like a fucking idiot. And then I come home, and we come home right before Christmas. I call her saying I have a little break before going to the next deployment. It was like really like back to back. And she dumped me on Christmas Eve when I was stuck in the boat having to do duty. I had to be on the boat the whole day. Wow. She calls me. I just thought it was amazing. That's why I don't fuck Christmas no more. Bad memories. That fucked me up for a very long time.
Oh my God.
Oh,
that's fucked
because
up.
I was serving my country.
Yeah, that's fucked up. And then the whole time, you're doing your thing, you feeling like, you got somebody to come back to or whatever else it may be, and
yeah,
they're over here marinating with different thoughts and intentions. Yeah, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
And I know I've said like a lot of like stuff that might have offended some people in the chat, religious people, females, or black people. I understand that, but man, my shit don't come from some bull. My shit comes from experience, my G.
Yeah.
And that shit's been painful. It's left scars, and it is what it is. So no, I don't really condone cheating. Now, if y'all both know what's going on and it's an open relationship kind of thing, you want to watch your wife get railed at by some big bollock nigga named named Debo, have fun. I don't know. I heard that's a thing. I don't know what these dudes doing, bro. I'm not trying to sleep with somebody's wife. Well, I'm not trying to sleep on anybody's wife anyway. But if he's there watching with a camera in the corner, that's extra no. That's a double no. That's a no exclamation point. What's wrong with these? I don't know. Some wild shit.
Yes, it's,
some wild ass shit out here. Everybody's catching everything. Everybody got the coronavirus and the coronavirus squared, and on top of herpes. So I mean, you know, it is what it is. I really feel bad for my niece and nephews. They gotta try to date some of these people. Oh my God.
Man. Yeah, and coming up in a generation of, like, the young folks now are gonna have to ask people, do you lick toilets for clout on the internet before they date? Like, it's gonna be real. It's gonna be real tough. It's gonna be real tough coming up. So I feel bad for the kids too, man. But you know what, Mr. Dan, I appreciate you being frank, being honest, you know, and sharing your thoughts with us, because, you know, not everybody is willing to share their tales, and I think that actually gives some insight to some of the ladies who feel like it's just us guys that are just doing the bad stuff, but good men tend to get fucked over. And then that's why, in reality, most of the dudes that you come across now that are, I won't say most, some of them just born that way, some of them raised that way, whatever, but it's a lot of dudes that you come across now have been in situations like that, and it changed the way that they approach things, and now they become, instead of being the prey, more like the predator. And I'm not saying that they're, you know, attacking people or anything, but they just say, you know, I'm not going to be the victim in this situation anymore, and so they kind of view, you know, having a bad experience or two, and they associate with all women are like this, and they start, you know, treating them like that. So they you know, I guess to protect themselves, a self-defense mechanism. So, you know, that still doesn't justify it. You know, love and relationships are a gamble, and, you know, you just don't know what you're gonna roll, but it is what it is, though. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I definitely appreciate you.
And I want to add on to that. But I appreciate that. Thanks, Honcho. But see, and men do have people have a choice whether they want to hurt other people because they were hurt. I chose not to do that. Now, like I said, I'm not perfect. I've never cheated on anybody, but I've been neglectful. The 2 times I got cheated on, I was engaged in certain situations where I had to give my entire time to. One was that fraternity, the second time was the Navy. But other times I just, you know, I was just caught up in my own bullshit. But I never cheated on anyone, though. However, I will say this. And I forgot what I was going to say. Never mind. Okay. I forgot. Fuck it.
Well,
man, you got anything else for me, Honcho?
We'll just say that women are time vultures. That's what it is. You know, you can't do nothing you want to do. They want all your time, and if you can't get all the time, they're gonna cheat on you. That's what we're gonna say. Dan is in good standing in my book.
Wait, I got it. I remember now.
Okay.
Now a lot of men have a choice to be dogs, and I ain't even mad at you. But however, I chose just not to get involved in any more relationships.
Okay.
I mean, like, if I meet a chick and we feeling each other at the moment, okay. Then we'll meet somewhere. I have condoms. I ain't stupid. And I'll do what we got to do. But right now, I'm just really, the only woman I give a fuck about in this world is my niece.
Yeah.
And by proxy, her mother and the mother of my 2 nephews.
Yeah.
You know, I love them to death. That's the only females. And obviously, my niece be number 1. Ain't, you know, because my mom's dead. And the way I saw men dog out my mom, I don't want to do that to other women. After my parents got divorced, they dogged the shit out of my mother. If I could go back in time and kill one of the motherfuckers, I would. Not feel bad about it at all. So I'm not going to do females like that because how I saw dudes did my mom. So I can't, you know, I can't really do that to females. But I'm just not going to fuck with y'all. I'm just going to live my life, try to save this money up, try to get a good job in this times of corona. And it is what it is. And that's all I got, man. That's all I got.
I feel you, Dan, man. Yeah, don't go fuck around having to catch a case behind any of these females, man. I don't blame you. But I'm going to check that out. You said it was Stephanie Lazarus?
Stephanie Lazarus, yeah. Funny her last name was that, and she the case came back 20 years later to bury her. I thought that was hilarious.
That is fucked up, man. But yeah, I'm gonna check that out. But I appreciate you saying.
Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, no problem. I was just saying hi to chat.
I mean,
yeah, man, Honcho, that's all I got, bro. Yeah, have a good night, day, whatever.
Already, Dan, the motherfucking civilian, man. I appreciate you calling in. I'll be talking to you soon, man.
All right, bro.
All right, have a good one. Shout out to Dan, man. And that's what I'm saying. That's what we're saying, man. D-Love, what the fuck you talking about, D-Love? I don't know what you're talking about. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we got calling into the den this afternoon?
In the Hello?
Yes. Playing classics, I see.
Trill said it was him.
It sure was, yeah. Yes, D-Love. Yes, you got it wrong. You got trilled. You got trilled. That's what happened, D-Love. But Mr. John, what's on your mind, Mr. John? How you feeling about today's topic, sir?
There's a topic that I'm passionate about as well. So, sorry, Den folks, you're going to hear me ranting and raving. But first of all, how you feeling? I know you were sneezing and coming down with the fucking coronavirus and everything else last night. You sound better now.
Yeah, I had a mild case. Like, the shit literally, it went away by the time I got in the den chat, the Discord chat. Like, I wasn't sneezing, I wasn't sniffing anymore. It was nothing. I was thinking about that last night when we were having this discussion. I'm like, well, I have none of these issues anymore. I'm trying to figure out where did they come from, what happened, why did I just get all of a sudden, case of the sniffles. So, yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Well, glad to hear that you're feeling better.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So what's going on? What about this topic are we picking apart now?
So, last night, in the Den Discord, and if y'all want to know how to get into the Den Discord, I'll post a link. I think the link comes up every now and then. But y'all should check it out, because like I said, there's always some very interesting post-show conversations, and with the Discord, everybody can get into the voice chat and have a group discussion. Some people just still participate in the other chat while they listen to the voice chat, and they voice their opinions via the text chat. But so there was a conversation started with I believe Professor Trill and Miss Grace and Miss Bell, and I don't even know how we got onto the conversation, but it basically led to infidelity, partners who were not faithful, and why do men cheat. And for some reason, we were forced to discuss that, but we never got to the topic of why women cheat. So we didn't really harp on that. We talked about why men cheat and how we're doing. The funniest thing I found, I have to point this out though. Miss Grace calling men sluts is the funniest shit in the world to me. Like it's just so funny when I hear her say that. And then it's just some things she says. So shout out to Miss Grace, because that was very entertaining last night. But and so we were basically saying that it's different when men cheat from when women cheat. Men don't usually give a shit about the person that they're cheating with. It's purely physical. There's no deeper level connection there. It's just, I want to get my fucking rocks off. So I'm going to get my rocks off and, go on about my day. But with women, when they tend to cheat, again, it's one of two things. Either they're a hoe, or there's just this what is it, the emotional neglect. That's usually the excuse that's given. And sometimes I think it's some hoism going on. Mm-hmm. They call it emotional neglect, but it might just be some hoism going on. But that's all. That seems to be the go-to excuse. So you're neglecting me, or I don't feel loved at home. I'm not getting enough attention. And so if it's emotional attachment to it, which should be the foundation of a relationship, you're taking that emotion and taking it somewhere else. You're taking it outside of the relationship to somebody else, or you're using that to drive you to somebody else. To me, I think that's more deceiving than a man going out and just cheating to get his rock. Now, neither one of them should be cheating. Cheating, the act itself is a no-go for anybody. But if you look at the underlying reasons behind it, I think that if there's emotional motivation, it's much deeper than just the physical nature of being a man. A man is natural need to want to procreate. So I think that's that. And then we talked about access to the opportunity, and some of the ladies said that they didn't think that access was as abundant now as it would have been back then.
What?
Yeah, so that was
what?
So I think there might have been a communication issue on there, but
who said?
Yeah, so
who said that? Helen Keller?
Miss Angela came and joined us. Well, actually, were there two Angelas? It was Miss Angela, aka Miss Meat, and Miss Lady Licious had also joined in the conversation. So we were having a
okay.
So it was a very good one last night. All right, Jess, Sarah, appreciate you coming through. So yeah, your thoughts on any of that?
All right, where to start? So I mean, obviously, cheating is wrong. I don't care who does it, man or a woman, right? We're not supposed to cheat, especially if you're married. But if you make any form of a commitment to someone, whether it's through marriage, through the or through just saying we're boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever, you shouldn't be fucking cheating. I will say that. Okay, so as a disclaimer, I've never cheated before. once I've had a conversation with a woman where I said we are now boyfriend and girlfriend, I have never messed around with anyone behind that person's back. I have dated more than one woman at a time while we're just like, the dating phase. I've done that. I will say, from knowing my guy friends and just talking to guys, that when a man sleeps with another woman, like behind his girl's back or his wife's back, it's usually because they just like that other girl's hot and they just want a piece of ass and like they just want to fuck because they're turned on. They don't really care if she's a nice person or if she's like got the qualities that his current wife or girlfriend doesn't have. He just wants a piece of ass. He's horny. And then a very small percentage might be some guy who's like, my wife doesn't treat me right, but whatever. That's you're a soy boy. That's why she does that to you. As far as women, I could say both of them. Some of them cheat because they're not getting something at home. It could be emotional. It could be physical. And then some of them are just fucking hoes. Some of them just do it for the same reason why most men do it, which is they just want some dick. They might be happy with the dick they're getting at home, but they might want something different every now and then. So I think men cheat more often based on physical, and women cheat on both physical sometimes and sometimes emotion, but more so the emotion side. No one's gonna get 100% of what they want with their partner. That's just not reality. I think the whole point of making a commitment with someone is that you understand that, and you push aside that 10 or 20 or 30% you're not getting, and understand that the 70 or 80% that you are getting is it's making up for it, and you should be happy and try and work it out and make some sacrifices. That's the whole point of having a relationship, whether it's business, intimacy, friendship, etc. But this whole thing where it's not as easily accessible now to cheat is fucking ridiculous. I mean, you have the internet. You have dozens upon dozens upon dozens of dating apps. You have email. You have text messaging. You have social media. You have Snapchat. You have things where you can hide. I have a friend of mine who cheats on his wife all the goddamn time. I have two friends who cheat on their wives all the goddamn time, and they don't tell me about it anymore because I started telling them don't be telling me about that. Do what you want to do, just don't tell me about it. One of them has, if you go onto his phone, and if you click on his calculator, and punch in some numbers. You think it's a calculator, but if you punch in a certain code, it opens up a whole nother app, which is a secret phone that you can store pictures and make phone calls, and you can't do it unless you punch that first code in.
Wow.
So if you're telling me that was around 30, 40, 50 years ago, you missed your opportunity to make $1 billion by publishing it. So, it's definitely way easier to cheat now. You don't have to go to a bar. You don't have to go to a club. You don't have to go outside to find somebody. You don't have to get to know somebody. You could say, send me a picture of your face, your pussy, your ass, and your phone number, and then it's just, you could do Skyping. You could get Skype lap dances like they're doing in Vegas right now. There's so many more ways to cheat, and if not many more ways, it's just much more easier now to do it.
So I got a question.
And on top of that,
do you feel that is only the physical act cheating, or if you are engaging in back and forth via text message, exchanging pictures, things like that, you may have not had physical contact with that person, do you consider that cheating?
I guess the way I would answer that is I would pose a question right back, and I would say, if a woman was asking me that, I would say, let's say my girlfriend was asking me that, let's say that. I would say, okay, so you got no problem with my girlfriend texting me, my ex texting, or me and another girl texting? Because usually women like to play that game where it's like, oh, these are just my friends on Facebook. We dated many, many years ago, but we don't talk anymore. But if you have some girls on your fucking Facebook that you fucked back in the day, they're like, why are you friends with her? Wait, you can't be on there. And they start fucking bugging out. So I always answer the question with the same question back to them. Like, if you think it's wrong for me, that means you don't do it either, right? And, so look, we're going to do whatever we want to do behind people's backs anyway. You can't stop it. But what Trill said about would you stick with someone if they were only giving it up once every 6 weeks? And the answer is no, I wouldn't. But I wouldn't cheat on them. I would tell them, look, once every 6 weeks is not enough for me. If we can't come to an agreement that's mutually beneficial, you got to go. Like, you know, that's it. Like, pack your shit, you got to go. I will never allow someone who I'm in a relationship with to terrorize me or hold hostage something that is important into the relationship. You know what I mean? Like, you better have one hell of a medical condition that doesn't allow you to do it more than once every 6 weeks. But my whole thing is, I wouldn't cheat on that person, though. Like, I'm very against cheating. If you want to do it, like, in terms of, like, if one of my friends wants to do it with their wives and girlfriends, that's their business. But for me, I would never do it. I'm like, I've never slept with a hooker, not knowingly. I've never cheated. I've never done anything like that. And I'm very against it. I'm very against, like, deceiving people. I'm very against, like, hurting people's feelings if it could be avoided. So that's my whole thing.
So how do you feel about, like, long? Because there's some technicalities to that story, and so how do you feel if it was a long distance situation? How would you handle a long distance relationship? Would you engage in one? Would you just say it's not going to work? Would you move closer?
When I was younger, I would try it, and I've learned it doesn't work for me. As a man, I need some physical pussy. Like, I can't be doing that fucking Skyping shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it's like a couple of days in between we're gonna meet and we want to do a little Skype session, I'm okay with that. But you living like in Canada and me living in New York, and it's like, yeah, I'll see you in 3 months. It's not gonna work. Like, listen, I'm a young, healthy, is viral the correct word? Viral man. Okay, I need sex every day. I need sex in the morning when I wake up. I want sex when I get home from work, and then I want sex before we go to bed at night. One of them's got to be a love-making session, and two of them got to be quickies. If I can't have that, it's not going to work out. So you're fucking once every 6 weeks vagina bullshit, take that to someone with low testosterone. They'll be happy with you. Long distance, there's some fucking college kid out there who hasn't learned his lesson yet that'll put up with that bullshit. I need physical intimacy. I'll give you all the talking and the dating and the romance. I'll give you all that stuff. I'll compromise. I'm not selfish, but I need the physical intimacy when I need it. You know, that's it. It's just, and you know what? It's fucking, these women are lying, talking about, like, oh, for men it's all about sex and this and that. It's not all about sex. If you got more to offer than just sex, then I want more than just sex. You know, and another thing is, remember that movie with who was it? Kevin Hart, and I think Steve Harvey, like, wrote the book, like, Think Like a Man, or whatever. Think Like a Man, Act Like a Woman.
Yeah, I know which movie. I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
All right. So I discovered a secret years ago, and they were doing that whole, like, in that movie they're doing, like, the whole 90-day rule, 90-day probation, yeah. And it was like this and that. Like, so what I started doing, because I'm a dick, was I was like, and it happened by accident, was I met this girl, and for whatever reason, however it worked out, I just wouldn't give her any. I just wouldn't, like, I would not touch her, would not make a move on her, but, like, I would take her out and give her the time of her life, conversations, romance, everything, and she started throwing herself all over me, and she just I'm like, yo, chill. I'm like, relax. Like, I was playing the woman. I was like, yo, relax. You know, like calm down. Like, this is not just about sex. I'm not a piece of meat. And she was like, oh, I'm ready for you. I was like, what do you mean you're ready for me? She's like, I just want you to let you know I'm ready when you are. I was like, you know, for sex. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, well, when I'm ready, I'll let you know too. Like, I was just a real cold dick to her. And then I started doing that to other women. And I started realizing that they are the pigs, not us. We, as men, are just too lazy to take the time to realize that if we played the same game that they played, that they would be worse than us.
Exactly.
These women were jumping my bones. I used to tell women, like, no, I don't want to do nothing. Why not? You know, you think I'm ugly? Am I ugly? Am I fat? Am I ugly? I was like, no, you're great. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. I just want to get to know you. If you, no guy says that unless they think you're ugly. I was like, well, I'm not every other guy, baby. This and that. And it got to the point where it was like, I'm not even lying to you. Men out there, listen, take notes. It got to the point where they would negotiate with me, like, all right, at least let me blow you before you leave. You know what I mean? Like, I used to get blowjobs and sex because they just wanted to prove that they were sexy and that they can get me. And it's sad. So men, if you play the game, you can fuck with a woman's head so bad.
I definitely agree. Because like I said, I had a moment where, for a while I was, some things happened in my life, so I was celibate. I wasn't engaging, and I wasn't, trying to fuck around. And I had more action thrown my way when they found out, oh, he's not fucking, he's not doing this, that, and because it got around, and a little crowd of females, and the shit that they were doing, it's like, wow, y'all really ain't shit, because if there's a deliberate reason why I wasn't, and y'all just really are trying your damnedest to prove otherwise, and I find that to be crazy. So I definitely agree that I didn't necessarily capitalize on it because, like I said, there was a legitimate purpose as to why I was. But yeah, I mean that's the thing, man. Like they definitely will. They have to prove it. They have to. And women have some type of weird thing going on in there.
Yeah, my whole thing though with the cheating thing is why? Like, what is the point? If you're unhappy enough to want to step out, why be in the relationship? Like, why keep yourself unhappy? Why risk getting Lorena Bobbitt? You know what I mean? Or Chris Benoit? Like Chris Benoit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why? Why risk it? And it's like, don't you have enough respect for yourself to say, like, if I'm not happy, I'm just gonna be single and do whatever the hell I want and be happy?
Correct.
You know what I mean? That's my whole thing.
I see there's see it's getting some buffering action here. Let me see what's going on real quick, y'all. I know y'all. Just one moment. Let me see what's happening.
Yeah.
But
hello.
Yeah, fuck this wrong. But as I agree as far as if you don't play with people's emotions, don't put yourself in a situation because you never know how someone is going to respond or react to that behavior. Some of the most innocent people in the world will snap and lose it completely and do bad things if you tug at their heartstrings enough. So, you gotta be cautious. I don't know what happened. It's just a stop. So I guess we're good. But yeah, I definitely agree.
I said to one of my friends, I was like, you cheat on your wife like a dog. I mean, like the man like goes out of his way to cheat on her. And I said, why don't you just tell your wife you want an open relationship? He's like, oh, I can't do that. I was like, why not? He was like, oh, my wife will never go for it. I said, how do you know? I mean, do you really think your wife's going to be like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, she's afraid that you're going to walk away the same way you're afraid she might walk away. You never know. You know what I mean? Like, you'll be surprised. I was like, why don't you just do that? That way you don't got to do behind somebody's back. That way, I said, who knows? Maybe for you it might help build a stronger relationship with your wife. And I asked my other friend, I was like, well, how would you feel if your girl cheated on you? He's like, oh, hell no, I wouldn't allow that. I was like, okay. I was like, but you're always away on business trips. You ain't that romantic with her. She's always complaining to you about this and that. You don't think she is? You don't think Tyrone's coming through the back door?
It might be multiple back doors. You got to be careful. But but that's the thing, man. And that's kind of how you got to look at it. And I think because I won't say it was the old then we had a conversation similar to it. You got to think about men. We want things a certain way, and we have gone out. If you have, well, like I said, you and Mr. Dan said y'all have never ventured out. When I was a younger man, I definitely violated some protocols, but we'll leave that at that. I'm a good guy. They took me learning some things and losing some things. But my whole situation is just like when like you just said, you put the shoe on the other foot. Men can't stand it, can't imagine it. That level of pride. I mean, it's demoralizing. And so when you kind of think of that, in an equal fashion, again, I don't think it stops the behavior, but I don't think guys would handle it as well as women do. Because women tend to, even after, and I'm not saying they should, women still tend to stick around. Women tend to be more loyal in situations like that. You have some guys that will, but women, I think on the whole, are more loyal. But if it goes vice versa, I think it devastates men for multiple reasons. So I think it's kind of like Miss Bell said earlier, it's a double standard, but it is what it is. But women benefit from the double standard. So,
But there's women. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's all I'm saying. They benefit from the double standard. What you got?
There's women out there that are the same way though. Like they'll cheat on their man, but if they find their man cheating, there are women out there that are cheating on their man right now. They will come home and say, "Are you cheating on me? You've been acting the same. You better not be cheating on me." There's women that do the same damn thing.
Yes, this is true.
And what's up with women? I've heard women say over the years, like, "Oh, if my man's gonna cheat on me, I just hope that she's prettier than me."
Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah,
what is that?
Ego. It's that female ego. Like, if you cheat up, women are okay with it. They understand it. If you cheat down, it blows their mind. Like it's like, but what they don't understand is it's not even really about any of that. You know, if you have taste and you have a specific type, you like whatever, it is what it is. But it's because it's not about that I'm trying to do something outside of you. It's just I'm just trying to do something. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like I'm trying to replace you or do any of these things. And that's what women think. Like I think because they can say most of them tend to go what do they call it, monkey branching or hypergamy or whatever you want to call it. They like to swing up, and so guys ain't thinking like that. They're just like, I just want some ass. I'm just trying to get my rocks. I'm trying to bust a nut. Women think of it as a whole different thing. So that's why I say I think it sounds bad when I say it, but I think it's usually more dire circumstances when women do cheat. As a whole, again, we got your hoes in there and you got your others, but I think as a whole, when a woman is resorts to cheating, it's a different thing.
Yeah. Well, so like, in a nutshell, what is your feeling on this entire topic?
I just think it's crazy. I mean, because I'm just really looking at it from last night. Like I said, again, being on both sides of it, being a reformed cheater. And I look back at what I did, like I said, and part of that was me putting the shoe on the other foot and looking at it and say, how would I feel if, this would have happened to me? And again, like I say, losing someone I loved and not having that. And I thought about the things that I did in that relationship and how I was a piece of shit. And, like I said, it really kind of touched me to the core. So I don't condone it now. I wouldn't engage in it. I think it's really selfish. But I would be foolish to say that it doesn't happen on a regular basis. Some people who are just do it. But I believe that most people who are cheaters tend to be insecure in some fashion, and that cheating is like I say, for women, it's maybe either, like I said, most women who tend to be hoes, they use that hoeing to fill that void that they have within them, whatever, maybe might be daddy issues, might be whatever. Men, I think it's to know that they still got it or whatever it may be. Like it's some type of issue I like to believe that leads people to cheat. It's usually some type of insecurity is what I feel. So I understand it. So, but I would no longer engage in it. I would never do it again.
So let me ask you this: you're in a long-term relationship with a wonderful woman. She is the most perfect woman. She is thick in the right places, black with natural hair. And she comes up to you and says, Honcho, like, I love you. You're an amazing man. You give me 80% of the 100 that I want, and that's a number that's probably extremely difficult to find in any man. I love you with all my heart, but I want to be in an open relationship.
Oh, she can be in an open relationship. I'll open the door, and she can walk right out
it. So she was like, "Look, I'm gonna cook for you, clean for you, I'm gonna treat you like a king. I'm gonna be there for you. I'm gonna be an awesome mother for your kids. Or I'm gonna hold you down when you need my help. I'm gonna be a woman, let you be the man." All that stuff. And Honcho, by the way, open relationship means you get to sleep with some other women too. I get to sleep with some other men too. We don't bring our dirt back into the house. We take our shoes off at the front door. You wouldn't allow that?
No, I'm cool on that. Because like I say, again, too much risk involved, too much other stuff going on. And look, we're not going to have romantic exchanges of any kind, knowing that that certain orifices may have been violated, used, manipulated in any way, form, or fashion. I'm just not too keen on that, so I'll chill on that one. So.
Okay, so what if she says to you, Honcho, I want to sleep with other people, and then she goes, "It's other women I want to sleep with."
Well, here's where that double standard comes in, because I still feel like, because I'm not big on the lesbian thing or any of that stuff like in that way. But if we're talking about a mutual arrangement where we can both benefit, then that's one thing. But if you're just going off having fun on your own, it's still cheating. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not getting no benefit. You're still getting pleasure. I'm not getting any benefit here. Have you seen some of those traps that some of these women have? It's crazy. So
what if she said what if she said that she's friends with that African model that you like, Michi Boo or something like that, whatever her name is?
Yeah, Uchimba.
And she goes, she goes, you know what? I got her. She's my friend. She's gonna come over to the house tonight. Me and her are gonna hook up, and we're gonna let you join in for a threesome.
That would have to happen. They would just have to happen. Hey, rules were meant to be broken, John.
Right, but then she turns around and says to you when when Michael B. Jordan comes to town, like, hey, rules are meant to be broken, Honcho. I gave you that one time with that girl you wanted.
And then I say, hey, it's better to give than receive. That's just the nature of life. And I thank you for that. And I appreciate you. But this is where we draw the line. So,
we draw the line in the sand right after I got mine.
Yeah, I had, I thought
right behind me.
I thought about what happened, and we shouldn't have done that. I mean, we did. We shouldn't have. So I just think we need to just, cut these behaviors off right now.
Oh, silly me. Oh, my God. Anyway, I want to stop hogging the line. Miss Grace is going to have a fucking heart attack between me taking forever and her one yellow trill. I just wanted to say happy birthday to Miss Bell. Heard it's her 21st birthday today.
Yes.
So I just want to say hello to her. And just real quick. So I was thinking about starting a YouTube channel.
Okay.
A couple of them. I want to do one with kind of like what Chris Fix does, where I do videos of fixing cars. Mm-hmm. And then I want to do one where it's going to be like politics, relationships, and like race relations. Mm-hmm. Kind of mix that all into one. And then maybe do another one for like cooking and fitness. And if one of them takes off, great. If not, whatever, I gave it a shot. But like, what do you think the best way to get started in terms of like getting subscribers and creating content? Like, what do you think like is like a good way to start?
Man, do you have one that you want to start with first, or you trying to just kind of do them all at the same time? Like, because honestly,
yeah,
I would think, like I say, with the politics, the more drama, the more controversial topics, it seems like you got to, because YouTube's kind of sketchy. It seems to me that people like that type of stuff. But with the fitness thing, I mean, you got a big group in the fitness community too. So I think like if you were to start something soon with that and say workouts from home, focusing on what you can do from home with no gyms being open, that would be a target to go to. I think that's something that people would be looking for. But like I said, the politics stuff, because it's always something happening in politics. It's always some type of racially charged situation going on. So I think you have a lot more polarizing topics with that. And then you said the cars. That, to me, that, like I said, that one I wouldn't be sure. I'm not real familiar with Chris Fix, but I mean, there's always stuff. Again, if you teach people how to work on stuff, fix stuff like that, I think that there's always a need, because cars are always breaking down, and people are going to want to fix things. So, maybe I'd start with like whatever is maybe a very popular or a very frequent issue that people have with cars, something simple, and just start with that, and then kind of build it up. Maybe the more complicated things. I mean, that's maybe how I would approach it. But if I was going to focus on one to jump it off, it would probably be the political one, because it's just topics like that, they just catch fire. I think the fitness thing, as you build and grow and show and prove, that'll eventually kind of have its own thing. It's like evergreen, so it'll always be there. But yeah, like I think that I would start off probably with the drama. People like drama, and so I'm wary on it, because I'm not a drama person. I like to keep things level-headed and kind of even keel, but I know that's what people like. Like I look back, like I say, with the Jussie Smollett thing, that was a very dramatic topic. A lot of people came in with that. When that goofy bitch, little buddy, kill a kid down here in Houston. People, that was a dramatic situation, real tense. So people, jumped in on that. And then the Justice Smollett thing was like a fire because it was race based, it was political, it had a lot of different elements to it. So I mean that's kind of how I guess I would approach it. But as far as like just getting started, man, just really you kind of got to jump in and just feel, what you feel comfortable with, and how you feel most comfortable presenting it, and then I think after some people say make 100 shitty videos, and I've definitely done that. And then you'll figure it out. But you just go in and just like I say, as you go, you kind of you look at something and say, okay, well I can kind of tweak this and I can kind of tweak that. But more so, you'll find your crowd and how they respond to it, and then just if you're comfortable making certain adjustments that people will suggest, and you kind of go in that way. And if not, then you just do it what makes you most comfortable. That's kind of how I approached like the first time I had the Soft Sports. I used to be fucking lit. I used to get on there and fucking get really high and talk a lot of shit about the Texas or whatever. And then somebody was like, "Hey man, you start off real good, but then once you get halfway through that blunt, you start kind of trailing off and sound like the rest of them Houston niggas, and your points get a little vague." And so I was like, at first I wasn't offended because it was constructive criticism, and if you can't take constructive criticism, well then you kind of lost. And so then that's why I was trying to change from that. Now I got away from that, and then just I take little suggestions when people offer them. So that's kind of what I would do. Just kind of jump in, and people are going to naturally they're going to leave. Oh, hey man, I think you should do this, or I think you should do that, and it's kind of your choice to take it or not.
Yeah, I guess the reason. I don't mind. Yeah, you got to be like Alex Jones. But my the reason why I was talking about doing all those different types of things and making them separate channels is because I've always been hearing people saying that if you talk about politics or race relations, you automatically get like demonetized, and they might even shut down your channel. Yeah. So that's kind of I was trying to separate it. That way, if one gets shut down, I got another one to make some money on. But I don't mind doing it all on one channel.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like, and this is why the end is kind of weird. It's like if you do a variety channel, now they don't get as much love. So if you're not like, that's the thing. Like, be as targeted as you can on things, and that's where you're going to see growth, because people are going to be looking up specific things, specific terms, and little shit like that. Mm-hmm. Let me see what I can do here. Maybe a little bit later. I got a couple of tools I could shoot you that I use to try to do some things as far as finding topics and stuff like that. But I
just got one last question, because this should be a conversation off the den because we're taking up other people's time and your time. But just one last question. These videos here, these streams that you put up, and we talk about some crazy stuff. We drop the N-bombs, the F-bombs. We talk about race relations, politics. Do they allow you to make money off the ads on these videos when you post them?
For the most part, yeah. There was a little while where they were kind of sketchy, I guess, when they were just really working out that demonetization thing. But now, I think that they've kind of smoothed it out. So you got like a green, which means everything's good. You have a yellow, which means it's going to get limited ads or promotion, and then you have the just kind of blacked out, the little sign, the money sign with the slash to it. The majority of shit in the den automatically starts off in the yellow. I don't think I have very many videos in the green. So it's limited. So those are people who are more willing to post ads on more risky stuff or risque topics. But a lot of that happens from what you put in the description. But now they do have like audio things where they can kind of scan what you're talking about, so they can pick up the words. It basically has like automated closed captioning. Now, if you watch these videos, they have their own closed captioning that's automated, so they know what you're saying. But like I said, yeah, it's still a problem. I think the biggest issue right now is with the way everything's going, quote unquote, in the economy. A lot of people have pulled ads because of people not working and things like that. So the what is it? The CPM is a little bit lower right now than it probably normally would. But I think everything's gonna jump back. But you still can make money. So it's not like I said, hand over fist. But it's a good supplement.
Sounds good. All right. Well, I'm going to let you. I appreciate the advice. I'll give you an email. We'll link up and talk more about this another time. And I just wanted to say, Jen Smith, we're not talking about cheating because we're waiting for you to call in and tell us about that time that you got caught cheating by your husband. So we're waiting on that. But you have to wait your place in line. Trill's been waiting. We don't want another white woman inflicting her entitlement and cutting a black guy off, pushing him to the back. Okay. So. Honcho, thanks for the advice. Thanks for taking my call. Everybody, keep your privates in your fucking pants. Have a good night. Goodbye.
All right, I appreciate it. Oh, man. Yeah, but and here's my thing, too, man. Like I said, I'm not any kind of star YouTuber or anything, but if there's ever any advice or anything, because I encourage everybody to do it. I mean, like you just never know. When I got on YouTube, when I say I'm not a very, I won't say I'm not a social, but if I'm cool with you, then we'll definitely chop it up. We definitely have conversation. But as far as me just going out and being super social, it just depends. But like I said, if there's anything I can do as far as advice, you got something, man, I'm as open of a book as I can be. And if you start a channel, man, let me know. I'll subscribe. I'll definitely support. I'll definitely do whatever I can. I have no issues posting, reposting, things like that. I encourage everybody to do it because you just never know. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this afternoon?
What up, show?
What's up, bro Lee? What's the motherfucking deal, man? What's on your mind, man?
No, let's go ahead and talk about cheating, all right? First, for one thing, I also don't get the point of cheating, all right? Because not only that, like there's no excuse or no justification for cheating whatsoever, all right? It takes little to no effort to say, you know what, babe, this is not working. I think we should go our separate ways, all right? And I know, people will say, it's hard, it's not as easy, it's more easier to cheat because what the person know will hurt them. But here's the thing, if you're not happy, well, if one person is not happy in a relationship, then that alone will render it unstable because it takes two to be in that, happy in a relationship.
But here's the thing, though, right? Do you think a person can be happy in a relationship and still cheat?
No. I don't think so. You think so? Happy in a relationship, like satisfied, and then you still cheating?
I'm asking. I'm trying to. I want to know your thoughts. So, do you think that? Why do you think that? Let's start with men. Why do you think that men cheat?
Yeah, men, for the most part, look, some men cheat for no reason. All right. I met a lot of men that cheat for no reason, but as far as physical reasons and stuff like that, I have to agree with the previous callers. A lot of men do cheat for more physical reasons, and man, like socializing with some of the men that I came across, especially in the military, it can be frustrating at times. Like these men, like it's a lot of men that don't have their heads on their shoulders, and I'm even talking about sergeant first classes. I'm talking about soldiers who've been dead nearly 20 years, who've been like married for over 10 years and stuff like that. Talking about how they would cheat on their wives in a heartbeat. Because I had one of them. Because they were clowning me because I was waiting until I'm married. And so I asked him, what would he do if his wife came home, cheated and stuff like that? And what he told me was, as long as she don't bring anything home, then he's all right with it. So, now that kind of threw me off too. So as far as why men cheat, yeah, some men do cheat for like no reason at all. Because I've seen men cheat on a woman with women that are less attractive. But as far as attraction, that's just my opinion. So like attraction is subjective. But like I said, I don't know. Like, why do you cheat, Honcho? What about you?
I don't cheat. Black men don't cheat.
Okay.
Haven't you heard? You haven't heard the song?
Yeah, black men don't cheat. Okay.
Yeah. So I am ineligible to be a cheater.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So cheating. Well, what about second chances? Do you believe in second chances after cheating?
I think it is very, very difficult to reform a cheater. So the likelihood of it happening again is probably high, even if you do give them a second chance. So, it's your choice. You can, take the risk and think so, but I think either they just get craftier or it happens again. I mean, I think the likelihood can be high if a person cheats once that they may cheat again.
Once a cheater, always a cheater.
That's what I believe the studies say. Now, again, I think people change, but I think it takes something major or a very traumatic situation. I saw this one thing about a guy who got a tattoo to convince his wife to stay with him, and he basically like tattooed a paragraph about him cheating, being a liar, being deceitful, and deceitful was misspelled on the tattoo. So that's the ultimate deceit right there. And so, he had like this long paragraph and it was dated and all this stuff. And it's just like, you're an idiot for doing that, because even if you were to, have everything in order for the next 10, 20 years and never do it again, every time you get intimate, she's going to see that. Like, that's going to be visible and it's going to make her think about it. So there's no real resolution. Again, if you want to forgive and forget, hey, that's fine or whatever. But by you getting that tattooed on you, you'll never forget. Like even if you did all the right shit. So I think that's kind of foolish. But it's up to people. Sometimes players fuck up. Sometimes people slip up. I think it's a case by case basis. So.
Right. Well, first off, I don't think it's a mistake. I think it's a choice. I don't believe in second chances. Look, I'll forgive, but I won't forget. All right. Even if you only cheated on somebody one time, that person should realize that there's people out there that wouldn't have done it once. Okay, so I think it started with being single, learning how to love yourself, building building yourself up mentally, physically, emotionally, and setting standards. All right. You set your standards.
But what I'm saying is, but what if you do all of these things and you find somebody and they check all the boxes and everything is good, and you can't preemptively expect someone to be unfaithful. It happens, and you only know once you know. Like that's it. Like you can only know when you know. Hold on one second. What are you doing, Mike?
I got a lady Honcho heard you talking. Now she's gonna get on you.
Scotty and Kemah were out running wild. Give me one moment. Let me see what he's up to. All right. I apologize for that. Scotty was Scotty was moist before the stream, so I didn't finish drying him all the way, and he managed to escape, and so he's running around still a little bit moist, so acting crazy. All right, so well, like I say, you can't check the boxes. Preemptively, you can't expect somebody just to, if you go into a relationship expecting someone to cheat, the relationship is going to be bad from the jump, and then you're most likely going to you're going to bring it into fruition because you're going to behave like that person's a cheater. You're going to be insecure.
Like, why would anybody? Because that's basically a lack of trust. Like, why would anybody go into a relationship?
But that's what I'm saying, though. But if you're saying like, okay, well, that person should know that there's somebody out there that wouldn't cheat on them, even if it was once. But they thought that the person that they were with was that person until the cheating happens, and so then that's when you have the decision either stick with them or to split up or whatever. But you don't know until you know, and so that's the situation. So it's like a gamble, no matter what. You may think it's a good person, you may think they're faithful, they're loyal, trustworthy, and all these things, but you don't know until the incident happens, and then it's a wrap.
Well, Honcho, it seems to me like you're like inviting the doubt. It seems like you're the one with it. Because like I said, we established that there are people out there that wouldn't do it.
But what I'm saying is, how do you know? But how do you? Okay, so if you meet somebody, how do you know instantly that that person wouldn't do it until they either do or don't? So you either go forever in your relationship and it never happens, or you think everything is peachy cream, and you find out at your, I don't know, your wedding, when they say when somebody says, does anybody have any objections? Somebody pulls out a manila folder with a bunch of printed photos of them fornicating with your old lady, and they give it out to all the friends and family and object to your wedding and ruin your wedding. I mean, this has happened before. But all I'm saying is that you don't know until you know. So I mean, everything's good, and so I'm not inviting doubt. I'm just saying that either they're good or they're not, but you don't know until something fucking happens, or something could be happening. You might not know.
Okay, I see your point. Of course, I'm not all knowing. Like I can look at somebody's history just by meeting them, right?
Correct.
Right, but all I can go by, like all I can assess is that some of the women in my family that has always been, loyal, that has always carried themselves with pride and self-respect and all that, and you know what I'm saying? And look, I'm not the one to go out into the world thinking that every woman is promiscuous and stuff like that, because I believe if I put that energy out into the world, then it'll reciprocate back to me. So if I go out there thinking that every woman is a liar, every woman is a slut and all that, then chances are I might meet them all. You know what I'm saying? So
here's my thing though. Okay.
Yeah.
So you said the way that the women in your family carried themselves. Now I don't know the ladies in your family, so this is not to disrespect or discredit them. But how do you know? How do you, Senior D-Love, know that they've never done anything outside of their respective relationships?
Honcho, it's not working. It's not working.
What do you mean it's not working?
You're not like I'm not finna doubt.
But you don't have to doubt. But here's my thing: is you could be 100% in belief that they're, but that's still not factual proof.
Let me ask you a question.
Know. You don't really know.
Let me ask you a question.
You can believe, but you don't know. Yes, sir.
Okay, let me ask the question. If anybody was to go into every relationship with your mindset, like how would that turn out? Because you have to have trust when you go into a relationship.
I have trust in my relationships. That's what it is. I have complete trust. I'm not a phone checker.
That's great.
If you say you're going out with friends, you're gonna do it. I'm gonna 100% believe that until I have a reason to doubt it. I'm not gonna be all over your shoulder where you're going, who you talking. I'm not with all that shit. Like I'm not gonna bring added stress and I'm probably. I won't say I'm one of the most lax people, but I'm not with all the. I'm not your daddy. I'm not finna. I am your daddy, but I'm not finna hound all that other shit. But it's just like, if I'm with you, I'm going to trust you, and so I have to, because I'm not here for all the unburdened, unnecessary stress. Now, if your behavior gets sketchy, and you have some questionable behaviors, we're gonna have a conversation. I'm gonna take you at your word. But if something happens where shit is proven otherwise, or there is deception, then we have an issue. And then at that point, okay, hey, I can't trust you. You did this, you did that. I'm moving on, and that's all it is to it. There's no doubt. I'm not gonna have doubt. Like if I carry that mentality, I'm not fucking with you. I wouldn't say that we're gonna be committed. If I had doubts, we just ain't gonna fuck around. You probably get, I'd probably fuck on the chick and then go on about my way. But it's not gonna be like it wouldn't be a commitment in the first place. So it's not. I'm not coming to a situation with doubt. I'm just saying. My thing is to sit here and say that any and everybody is. How do you really know? You have to leave options on the table. There are a lot of deceptive people these days. I mean, shit. You got, look at Andrew Gillum. Him and his wife separated now, but he was just taking pictures and bringing them out on a campaign trail and promoting it like it was all good, and you know what I'm saying? Like everything was all Christian. And he getting gangbanged in gay orgies in hotel rooms doing meth, and she probably had no idea none of this shit was going on. But they got 3 kids together and everything else, and they've been together for a long time. So what I'm saying is, a person can present themselves as something for a long time, and they can keep things under wraps for a long time. You don't know until you know. You can go in there and say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna have trust, I'm gonna have faith, and I'm gonna believe. But nobody 100% knows. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't. Like, and I'm not telling you to go in there doubting.
But can I ask you this, man?
Go ahead.
Yeah, let me ask you this. Okay. Yeah, you think so let's say 2 people been dating for quite a long time, maybe married for years and stuff like that, and like you said, one person was deceptive the whole time. Do you think that maybe there's a chance that person, like there were signs that the other person just failed to pick up on, because I find it difficult to fake a character for 10, 20 years, even 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So do you think maybe there was like flags that the person just failed to pick up? Because here's the thing, you shouldn't let anybody tell you more than once that they don't want to be with you. Meaning, like,
Okay,
as soon as somebody, right?
but who has said that was said? Who can make the
It
assumption
don't
that
have to no.
somebody said that?
It don't have to be verbal. But what I mean by that is, as soon as somebody show you, the first sign, you know what I'm saying, of, that they're disrespectful, whether that's being verbally abusive, being physically abusive, and stuff like that. Because see, a lot of people don't pick up signs when they're presented. You know what I'm saying? So my question to you is, do you think
Are
that
you saying
maybe,
are you saying they're symptomatic?
right? I mean, I'm asking you that. Do you think that maybe it's a chance that there was signs that the person was deceptive that the other party didn't pick up on?
Man, here's what happens. People get into relationships, especially new, and they just kind of glimpse over things and they don't notice red flags, and they kind of ignore it, or they just think it's a one-off or whatever it is. I have a saying that's red flags equal body bags, so you better pay attention to the things up front, that are taking place. But hold on one second. So my thing is this though, but some people are not as receptive. Some people are very good at practicing deception. Some people are excellent, and then some people put it in your face and they just don't want to realize. Some people may want to whatever. And I agree too, Miss Grace. Like, his wife can't know anything. Maybe it could be because now it got put out in the public, but I'm wondering. Also it's like, are you, and I guess, there's women, I guess, who are into weird stuff, but do you want to be that chick? Like, what woman signs up to be that chick? You know what I'm saying? The one who is the husband gets exposed, you know what I'm saying? Like, she knew with him being in politics and all that stuff, there was a risk for that if she did know. But maybe she overlooked, some of the red flags like was being mentioned. But here's my thing, though. It shouldn't be about signs. It shouldn't be about flags. It shouldn't be about any of those things. My thing is just that people are who they are, and you just have to. You can't go in thinking that everybody's perfect. I'd rather think there could be some flaws and get proven wrong than to think everything is perfect and get disappointed. Like I said, I'm going to know.
But I'm not suggesting that people should jump into a relationship upon days, within meeting people. All right, people should take it slow, take the time to actually get to know the person. I mean, depending on how much time you take to get to know somebody before dating them, I mean, you may not, you're not going to get to know like their full character. But I mean, don't be so quick to jump into the relationship.
But my thing
right?
is most people. But that's the thing, though. We live in a microwave society. We want it quick, fast, and in a hurry. We want the drive-through. We want the the DoorDash delivery, whatever you want to call it. We want it right now. We want it the way we want it. We want convenience, and we have expectations, and so that's where the problem lies. Is because people are going to come in, and they're going, maybe they may wait a month or two or a couple of months. Most people ain't waiting. Most people end up fucking first and then getting together. And so once that's started, once sex is involved in the relationship, a lot of things get blinded and glossed over, especially if someone is putting it down. You know what I'm saying? And if both of them are compatible, that's where those toxic relationships come, because the sex is more important than everything else, and they just deal with the other. They just deal with the other things because they enjoy the physical so much. But my thing is just this, man. Like, yeah, if you remove the physical from the equation and you pay attention, you can generally see things, because then you're thinking more with your head than instead of the little head. But most people are not doing that, and especially on the society that we live in, most people are not doing that. Now, you may be different, you may approach things different, but I'm going to tell you, and this is not to be a disappointment, your selection that you're going to be seeking is going to be a very small pool. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so
I walked the narrow path.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with that. But with the smaller the pool, the narrower the path, the less options. So there's going to be some trade-offs involved in that. You know what I'm saying? And so you may you may like those trade-offs. You may not like what you have to give up. So I mean, if it's for you, if you have a checklist.
You know what, Anthony?
Hmm?
Right. So look, I didn't even want to bring up me like waiting until marriage because like I didn't want to push that on people. But I mean that is a good point, and that's one of the reasons why I'm doing it. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you like one more question because I'm gonna go ahead and get off. I know Miss Grace want to get on the call, but so here's my question because the whole time throughout this dialogue, you kept asking me like, well, how do you know that person is this? Well, I mean, how do you know that person is not loyal and not good? Like, well,
That's what
why
I'm saying. It's
should
a
we just start
gamble.
off my question?
But that's the thing. It's a gamble. You don't.
But okay,
People, unfaithful people get in relationships too. You know what I'm saying?
no,
And-
I agree with you. Like, it is a gamble, but I think there are things you can do to mitigate that gamble. Like what we just established, like waiting. Okay. Steve Harvey suggests that people wait like 90 days,
Yeah, don't do that.
before giving up. But I'm not saying I agree with him. I'm not saying I agree with him, but I don't think people should be sleeping with each other on the first night. I think just go ahead and
I mean,
just another person. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it. I dig it too. And again, like I say, I agree. I think you got to find a healthy balance. But I'm gonna tell you this, and this was something funny
Right.
because I wrote this down on the thing while I was on my little vacation. That's not a good idea. Steve Harvey gave a lot of American women bad information because most American women, especially if you're at this point and you're on the dating scene and doing all that, are not interesting enough to keep a man's attention for 90 days. He may talk to him here and there, but to expect that he's only
Right.
going to be dealing with you and nobody else, and y'all in the dating phase, and I mean not something serious, you talking about waiting for that, are not interesting enough to keep a man's attention for 90 days without him having some type of something on the side to get him by until you reach that threshold or whatever. So that's unfortunate, but
Right.
it is what it is. Because most American women are taught to be, basically superficial. Again, and that's what I'm saying. When you start seeking and whatever, again, like I say, maybe you'll find you a good church girl and the stigma about church girls or whatever. Like I say,
Right, gotcha.
what I'm trying to tell you is, don't put them on the pedestal. Don't demean and undermine them, but don't put them on the pedestal. Just have a healthy balance of how
Right.
you approach stuff. It could be good, it could be bad. Remain neutral is basically what I'm trying to tell you. So don't just say, oh, she's really good, she's this and this. Just always keep in mind there could be
You talking shit? What's your saying?
No,
I know
I
you're
love
saying
you, Miss Grace. So my thing is
I'm just
just
playing
that,
sure it's all good.
my thing is just that I don't. But you American, but you got the Cape Verdean in you, Miss Grace. I'm not putting you in that group. I would never do such a thing. But my thing is just it's like most American women. Again, they're all into the superficial shit that you tell. All they're going to talk to you about is a bunch of bullshit TV shows.
Right.
And they're emulating these crazy women on TV. They dress and act like the crazy women on TV who are playing a character, who are doing all this. Like, so it's just like, that's my thing. And so I say, especially if you're dating American, you have to just kind of keep in mind, again, like you said, pay attention to the signs, watch the signs. I mean, so again, I'm not trying to undermine your hopes and dreams, but if you're risking it all for that one opportunity to make sure everything is right, I hope that you find it. I hope that she brings the same mentality to the table, and I hope it's the greatest moment of your life. But your odds are extremely slim in the society in which we live in and the behaviors that people push. How old are you right now, D-Love?
I turned 22 last month.
You said 22, 23?
23.
You better hurry up. No, I'm not joking with you. Once you hit like 24,
I understand that.
it's like an explosion. And well, here's the thing too. And what you got to realize: one, most women by that age are already doing the do. But then by the time you hit that 24 mark, that's when you're gonna have a lot of kids coming to play. It's like 24 is like the number where it seems like it like half. It just goes from single chicks. Okay, I got opportunities, got to talk. Then it just blows up. Kids come in the picture, and then. You just got a lot to deal with. So that's just my personal advice. That's all I'm telling you. You may have to get on your game if you're expecting to find what you're looking for, because the older you get, the more time that passes by.
I was just thinking about that yesterday too.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that. But I mean, just to let you know, there has been women that I came across that I was surprised. Like, I know a woman who's 30 that's not married and don't have kids.
Okay, but that
Right?
means, but she has
But I
been
mean, it's
fucking.
very odd.
but I guarantee, but I'm pretty sure she's been
Hey,
fucking now. She may not have
okay.
done all that other stuff, but she is not for lack of trying.
No, but I'm saying like I agree with you. The odds are extremely slim. Okay, not to discourage me or everything. Like I just told you, I walk a narrow path. But no, I mean I hear you, Huncho, and yeah, I'm not just sitting here like letting time go by. But yeah, no, I appreciate the call. I'm gonna go ahead and get off. I know Ms. Grace when I get on the phone. But no, I appreciate the conversation.
All right. Well, I appreciate the call there, Mr. D Love, and talk to you soon, man.
All right.
All right. Now I know we at the mark. I know we at the 2 hour mark, but we'll keep it we'll keep it going for a little bit. I know there's a couple more folks who want to get their calls in, so we'll make sure we get those. I know Miss Grace wants to share her thoughts, and I'm gonna keep the line open for Miss Grace. I don't care what the rest of y'all think, and we'll see what happens from there. Trill, are you planning on calling and sharing any of your thoughts, or are you waiting to conclude the conversation? And for those of y'all, like I've already put the tonight's dinner up. Like I say, we're going to talk about the quarantine watch list. What shows are y'all watching? What are y'all viewing? What's entertaining you during the quote-unquote lockdowns? We're going to talk about that goddamn Tiger King. You feel me? We're gonna talk about that goddamn Tiger King. And it's if you ain't watched it or you haven't been watching it, I suggest you take the chance to, you know what I'm saying? But you know what's fucked up? Face got the Rona, right? Slim Thug had the Rona, right? Slim Thug dropped an album last night with a Face feature on it, right? If Zero pop up with the Rona, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna leave it at that. Yeah, you seen that here in Texas? They try to campaign talking about for Planned Parenthood because it's not open during the thing that it should be an essential business, and y'all are violating on women's rights and stuff like that. Well, you better not be doing no quarantine fucking, or you're gonna be fucked out of luck for a little while. What's the motherfucking deal we have? That would take some discipline. Who do we have called into the den this evening?
Not just fuck you, Trill. Now it's fuck you, New York, John, too. How about that?
Good.
How about that? Let me tell you something. First of all, John, when I said that Andrew Gillum's wife should have known, or I can't imagine that she wouldn't have known the things that her husband was doing, that all she got to do is smell him. Now you understand what I'm saying, Honcho?
Yes.
It's not. John automatically thought maybe the pee-pee smell that women do that. No, it's not that. When someone takes drugs, when they smoke cigarettes, if they don't drink enough water, if they eat too much meat, if they don't have a good diet, all of those things come out in their pores so that you can smell it. It's not what a man or anybody puts on like cologne that goes in. It's what comes out. You can smell it. You are what you eat, and you have to be. And smell is the strongest scent. You know what I mean? So with that guy doing drugs and doing all the things that he was doing, she should have been able to smell that her man was doing something foul, because something foul is going to come out. And that's one of the reasons why I don't deal with men that don't drink water. You know what I mean? And that's one of the reasons why I eat low on the food chain, and I like men to eat low on the food chain. But because I am a woman and a man supposed to be a man, like I said yesterday, Honcho, every now and then, a man, a real man, you got to throw him a piece of meat on a string. You know what I mean? So he smells stronger because it's manly. He's not supposed to smell like me, and I'm not supposed to smell like him. I'm supposed to smell a little softer. Now, that's old school. You mean that people just don't pay any attention to. Do you understand what I'm saying, Honcho?
Yes, ma'am. I totally understand. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
The things you eat definitely have an impact on your fragrance, your natural fragrance.
Yeah. drugs and everything, it comes right out. You can smell it. And after a while, you know, if I go out in public, you know what I mean, and you're standing behind someone in line, you can almost smell the people that are doing drugs and things. It's the scent that comes out of their pores and it gets in their clothes. It's awful. Okay, now Trill. New York John, thank you so much for everything you were saying, because Trill was trying to be sneaky. Trill was trying to be sneaky like these goddamn liberals in Massachusetts. Okay, the situation was, you know what I mean? I was asking a question and talking yesterday in the Discord about I didn't understand how a man could cheat on a woman when he's supposed to be in a loving, committed, monogamous relationship. And my situation was somebody that was in the military. You know, when I met him down in Fayetteville, we were not boyfriend and girlfriend. My best friend introduced me to him. We hadn't slept together. We kissed and things, and that was it. I didn't even give him my phone number. And then when I got back to Massachusetts, maybe about days later, my best friend called me up. She said, guess who showed up at my house? He's begging for your phone number. And she knows better. Don't give my phone number out. You know how I am about that, Honcho. Yeah. Don't give my phone number out to anybody, not without my permission. I don't like that. I don't like people stopping in on me. I don't like people calling me. So I said, okay. You know, I talked with him, and I let him have the phone number. Right after that, he had to walk the green ramp. And I didn't understand what that meant. Meant he was going over to the Middle East. So we really weren't boyfriend and girlfriend at first. And then he was over there for like maybe 9-10 months or so. And over that time, you mean, we got to know each other. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to bother with him. And people said, what if he gets killed over there? What if he dies over there? You can't just ignore him. You know what I mean? So I kept on writing, and we were friends and making the little cassettes with Tina Marie, If I Were Your Belle, you know what I mean, and all that bullshit. You know what I mean? He's sitting there listening to the music under the stars, and a little perfume and little pubes in a little plastic bag, all clean and shit. Yeah, all that stuff. So when he came home to me, okay? He was staying in the barracks, and I told him, I'm a grown woman. You mean I don't want a man that's in the barracks? I did that barracks thing with him one time. You mean you need to get your own apartment? And he did. You mean, and I helped him out. Remember I told you I ordered some things for him to have. Okay, we sat down, and the deal was, you mean, we fell in love. You know what I mean? I live in Massachusetts. He lived in North Carolina. You mean, this is the way it is. I can't pick up and move there right away because I have the career, I have the family, I have my whole life. I couldn't just uproot my family, especially if I'm not sure yet. You know, eventually he did cheat, and his excuse was, I cheated because you weren't here with me. And I couldn't accept that because he knew he was dealing with a woman that lived in another state. We tried our best to see each other like every 5 to 6 weeks. Remember I told you he used to go on post because when the guys came back from the military, they could get like airline tickets at 40% off. So he used to get it and put it in an envelope and Federal Express it to me. You know what I mean? And he'd drive up here. I'd go down there. We'd go back and forth every 5 to 6 weeks. You mean if he couldn't do that and he couldn't hold himself, and him being in the military and gone away and almost gone off to war, if he wasn't able to hold his dick in his pants, the military didn't train him well enough to, you mean, then he had no business being with me. Maybe I could have been the woman for him, but he was not the man for me because I want someone that has some discipline. I want someone that values and respects the love of our relationship. You mean, you don't gamble and take a chance of losing it all. You know, I do realize that most men cheat, you mean, but the best of them, you mean, don't act on it. Even when they see a beautiful woman, they say they want to, the best of them don't act on it. That's a sign of immaturity. You mean, I don't want a man that is capable of doing that because that tells me about his character. You know what I mean? So that's what it was with the 5 or 6 weeks. You mean, it was a deal, and he knew this. And thank goodness that I didn't uproot everything and go down there because afterwards I realized he was a slut. I'm just going to put it out there. He was just a fucking slut. That's what it was. I mean, who would want something like that there? You know what I mean? When he allows everybody else, or these guys let every other woman play musical chairs with their dicks. Who would want a man like that there? You mean who's passing out dick like it's sticks of gum or Tic Tacs? Who wants that bullshit? You mean I don't? You mean I want something that's more valuable, and you hold yourself for the person that you love. You mean if I'm in love with somebody, I don't give a goddamn if Blair Underwood walks past me naked. I won't make a move. You mean looking at another man is like looking at a tree. You mean you just don't do it. You mean now maybe I'm just asking for too much, but once again, Honcho, I'm not asking for any more than what I'm willing to put out there. And I'm not going to get revenge because he cheated, because you heard me say it a couple of times before. I don't get revenge with my pussy because I value me too much.
Right.
You mean I'm just not going to do it? Not with my body parts. He stooped low. I'm not going to go there. You mean so I decided to leave. It was hurtful because I loved that man. You know, and then it made me so mad that when I flew down there, you mean that's when I found out that my diamond ring couldn't cut glass like on TV because I tried it. I tried to get in his window by cutting that little diamond ring was not cutting glass. I was trying to do just TV shows out. My best friend and I sneaking it. It did not work. You mean, and not to mention, you mean that's putting me at a health risk. You mean I'm a mother, and if any guy puts me through changes, I look at it this way and I let them know that you put me through changes, you may put my kids through changes. If I go down, we could all go down like dominoes. When I'm hurt, they're hurt. When my mother cried, we all cried. You mean we'd be crying and crying. My mother go sit out on the porch. The neighbors would come by. Why are you kids crying? I don't know. Then why are you crying? I don't know. My mother's crying. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. We were like a bunch of little alley cats, a bunch of kittens. That's the way it was. You mean, and my kids don't want to see me hurt either. You mean, so I had to leave that guy alone. The next time I seen him, he had built a house in Arlington, Texas, near Dallas, because he figured if he built the big house, you mean that I would be happy with that. When I went there, that phone started ringing. He started with that bullshit. When he went to work, he unplugged the batteries in the phone. I'm not stupid. I let him think that I didn't know what was going on. You mean? And then I plugged it right back in, and I saw who was calling and let her know that I was there. I shouldn't have to go through those things. You mean he didn't straighten up things? He was still a liar. You know what I mean? He's a liar. You mean? And he was a slut. So Tro, stop trying to do that Jedi mind trick with me that he tries to walk around and then bring us right back, because Tro tries that bullshit. He tries to walk you in for the slaughter. I'm too old for that bullshit. I'm the master.
Show enough.
Okay, show enough. And I understand some people go into things they don't know exactly what they want, but I knew exactly what I didn't want. I never want a cheater. You mean I would never cheat. You mean, and I don't want a cheater. You mean a relationship is sacred. Your body is sacred. You don't just go passing it out like it's Tic Tacs. That's disgusting. You know what I mean? So it was simple and straightforward. Straighten yourself out. You mean, or I'm leaving. And when I left, you need to get yourself together, and maybe, for the sake of you mean I might reconsider. And Tro called me a feminist. Call me a fucking bitch, but don't call me a feminist. I hate those bitches. Okay. So, that's basically it. And I said I just can't do that cheating thing. And then about this internet where you all have, you said you have more access. Yeah, you might have more access to more women out there, but those are like drive-by, drive-through window kind of relationship. Back in the day, people took the time out to get to know one another. So when a man got into a relationship, whether it be his wife or the other woman, it was for the long haul. You mean that man was taking care of that woman and all her kids and her bills and everything. You mean it was for the long haul. It wasn't so, it's like quality versus quantity. Yeah, you guys have more access now with social media, but those are those drive-by, cheap, low quality kind of relationship. Back in the day, it was much more serious. You understand?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
But I think we live in a society where we're just to the point where I don't think, they don't even care. They just want to, I don't think anybody cares. It almost seems like women are in the same boat as me. They just want to tally it up.
Right. That's disgusting. You mean you're supposed to value yourself. And John, and when he said that he had been single for 10 years and loving it, I was kind of embarrassed because me too, mine was almost 10 years. And I was almost embarrassed to say that to somebody. Almost 10 years. Because I said I'd rather be by myself, than to sit there and be in these horrible relationships. And then when I finally got involved with somebody, it wasn't good anyway. So I had to leave that alone. But it was almost 10 years, that I just stayed by myself. Because I said, I'm saving myself up. I told you, if that man comes along for me to marry, I'm ready. I always tell people, always be ready. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. I'd never found anybody I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. But If I run into somebody, I make my money. I'm already established in things, and I want him to make his, and for him to be established, and then we can come together. Yeah, and if he leaves and doesn't act right, I need to make sure that I'm secure because I'm a mother. I need to make sure that I'm secure so that my kids are. I don't care how grown they are. I have to make sure that I'm secure so that I leave something behind for my granddaughter and even my foster son's kids. I need to make sure, when I'm dead and gone, that they're standing. Yeah, they can stand on their own, but I wanted to break the cycle because when my parents died, they left me nothing but memories. Some beautiful memories, most of them, but nonetheless, it was memories. And I said we need to break that cycle. And then the other thing is, I don't get jealous of these women when they talk, but I got a man, I got me a husband, and this, that, and another. Whenever I sit there and check and see the kind of freaking guys they have, get the freak out of here. I look at that and say, nah, that wouldn't be me. That wouldn't be, you can have that. Don't nobody want that shit. If he looked halfway delicious, like maybe you, Honcho, or John, or what, halfway delicious, that's different. But these women are all bragging that they got themselves a man, and he looks like he's 9 months pregnant. And his freaking cheeks are hanging down like a walrus or some bullshit. Get the freak out of here. You can keep that bullshit.
Okay. There's some folks who just happy to say they got somebody. I mean,
Yeah, like, he's coming home to me every night. They don't care if he comes home with a slutty, sticky dick, as long as he's coming home. That's not going to make me happy. You mean? Or I'm not going to be satisfied when he dies. Guess what? I'm going to get to sit up front with the family. That's not going to make me happy. But some women do. But you know what? I'm not going to knock it. You mean maybe there's something about them that they feel like they need that in order to feel value. I don't need that to feel value. Again, Trill, I don't need a man. I would want one, but I don't need a man. Again, Trill, if somebody, you say, when you call somebody to fix the hole in your roof, no, I'm calling someone to fix the hole in the roof. I'm not calling him to be my man. There's a difference. But I love you, Trill. But you made my blood pressure go up high. That was disrespectful. That was freaking elderly abuse. I was going to have to go and say that I got the coronas or something behind you, Trill. Ooh, what a pain in the ass.
Trill was abusive. Terrible.
Oh, my God. He was, oh, my God. And that's why the discourse is, and I won't like to say too much on the den, because the Discord is cool because it's much more private.
Yes.
That I can say a lot more. You know what I mean? My daughter, now I know she listens to the den and things, and as a mother, I have to be kind of careful. And I can go in the Discord and I can say more things. Because I don't believe in that. Today they say you got to be their friend all the way. Yeah, she's my best friend, but she doesn't need to know everything. She does not. We old school, we don't do that. There's some things we just don't kiss and tell. You know what I mean? It's just not ladylike. It's not proper. You don't do it. But now I stepped and hogged up my time. And happy birthday, my Belle. I hope that you have a beautiful day, and God bless you. And I told her, Honcho, that you'd put something on Facebook for her, and that was really sweet.
Yes. Miss Belle has been down with the den for quite some time, and she is a love member here, so I had to, just make sure to show a little bit of love the best way I could.
That's right. Hey, but John acted like it was his goddamn birthday. You wait, John, when's your birthday so we can fucking hog up the line? And you ain't getting it. How about that? What is it? I'm going to write it down, too. Then I'm going to mark it right on my calendar. Yeah. But, okay, my Honcho, I'm going to get off now. And, and again, once that trust is broken, that's hard to fix. I've tried to go back a second time. Once that trust is broken, loyalty and trust is everything. Because with that, then you will get the respect, and you'll get the honor, and you'll get the true love. Without that, you're not getting those things, so what's the point? Just to say you got yourself, not a man, I say a male. When I see some guys, I say, he's just a male. Or I see some women, I say, she's just a female. Nothing special. So I meant that at the time when they left me off the phone. I said, I had finger signs up for all the men of the den except my coachman.
Everybody got a little shot.
That's right. But okay, I'm going to hang up now, and I'll wait for tonight's den.
All right, Miss Ms. Grace, I thank you for calling in and explaining, with a little bit more detail for those who may have been wondering what was going on. So now they have a better understanding of the whole situation. So I appreciate you for calling in and sharing that.
Yeah, because Tro was trying to make me look bad. Like, what would you do? Like I was just a woman that was in a house with a man, living with him, married to him, and wanted to hold out for 6 weeks.
Mm.
No, that was military. That was different. We made a deal. If we make a deal, you try to stick with it. And we try to work through it. We did everything over the telephone. We flew back and forth. He drove with it. We did our best. Because we wanted, okay, we need to do X, Y, and Z. These are the necessary steps that we need to take to get to the point that we need to be. And I'm very task-oriented, And he set us back more than once. I'm not going to keep starting over and over again and going back and forth like I'm doing the goddamn cha-cha. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to hang up now for real.
All right. Well, Ms. Grace, it's good to hear from you. Thank you for calling.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Look, Trey, we got to slide the Discord. I have to pull a whole ass Honcho. Look, I got to go take a leak, y'all. I love y'all. And a little bit over the thing. For those of you who vote for the sauce, I'm thinking there's going to be a sauce here sometime at 6. And so I got to get that going. But we'll be back tonight in the den. Slide into the Discord. I'm gonna be in the Discord right after this. So if y'all want to continue the conversation, we'll be in the Discord. Allergy and Rona free in the Discord, and just make sure you're there, man. We can get in the group chat. We can have a vocal discussion, and let's go from there. But with that being said, y'all be cool like y'all be cool. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. It's my honor, my privilege, and most of all, my pleasure, man. We'll see y'all tonight at 9. Like I say, if you have a chance, try to catch a couple episodes of Tiger King. If you don't, we got plenty of stuff to talk about, whatever suggestions you may have on tonight's show. With that being said, y'all ain't got to go home. Go to Discord. I'll see y'all there. I'm out.